center field. Going back is Gonzalez. It is gone! Two-run home run by Schwarber. Stays put, and there's a high fly ball. Deep right field. Harper watches it fly.
And we are back for another episode of the Double Switch Podcast. How things change. 1 week ago, we were feeling like, this is the team that, smooth sailing this year. Nothing's going to go wrong. And then, one road trip later, there's plenty to talk about because the Phillies dropped back-to-back series against the Braves, who are obviously a very good baseball team, and against the Cardinals, who aren't really that good. But there's some discouraging developments going on. We'll get into that in a little bit. But how are you doing today, Johnny?
I'm doing good, man. Obviously, a little disappointing weekend of baseball, but we got some good series coming up. I'm excited.
Yes. I'm going to be fully transparent. I have read a lot of the Spark notes about these past series because the Masters obviously took a lot of my attention away. Fortunately, I am on Phillies Twitter, and Phillies Twitter, it's very easy to get a gauge of how the vibes are if you just go on there and start reading through some of the tweets. There's a couple guys now that are mentioned particularly often. And it's some guys that we've been talking about for a couple of years now. I know coming into the season, we kind of made it a point to highlight them and tell everybody that those were some players that we were watching. And those players this year so far are Alec Bohm and Brandon Marsh. Those seem to be the two players. People are frustrated. I get it. I really do get it. We haven't seen a lot, but let me throw it to you first, Johnny. Can you rank these players based on your concern level? And I'm going to throw another player in there with them. It's going to be Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, and Bryson Stott. 3 members of the daycare. Rank them from most concerned to least concerned.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy for me. It's going to be Brandon Marsh, and then it's going to be Alec Bohm, then Bryson Stott. Why? Brandon Marsh is it's a runaway. I was very vocal in the beginning of the year how this is finally his time, just make an impression, take the job. Obviously that's what he wanted to do, but it's snowballed. He hasn't had a hit in April. He's 0 for his last 28. Really nothing he's doing is working. And we just saw today that he's going to be sitting the next 2 to 3 games. I think that's a really good decision. I'm worried about him just because I think the Phillies' patience is going to give out pretty soon. I genuinely think he has till May 1st. He can't sustain this and keep a job. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't like the idea of sending him down. I think that's kills his value, kills his morale. But he's number one. Clearly the most worried about.
Give me your concern level 1 to 10. 10 being the worst.
I would say it's an 8 right now.
Okay. Yeah, we can start with Brandon Marsh because I agree. I'm very concerned about Brandon Marsh. I think that, in the right situation, he could power through and figure all this out. But you see this a lot on just winning mature teams where you don't have the patience, this is a team that everything needs to be clicking, it's to the point where we really don't want projects. And it just feels like Brandon Marsh is just a never ending project. He shows glimpses of possible improvement. And it just doesn't seem to stick. It seems to come and go. I don't know what is happening right now because he's healthy physically. He just looks like,
want me to answer that?
Yeah. Break it down for me.
It's some of the fundamentals. The swing is too long because he's not getting his leg down. He's not on time on any pitch. Believe it or not, the fastball is his worst pitch right now. If you look at the metrics and pretty much every expected stat against the fastball, he righty or lefty, he's behind on every fastball he sees. And it's starting to feel like it's time for Kevin Long to kind of earn his contract and tweak that swing. We've all watched Brandon Marsh. He got a lot of movement, a lot of motion with the upper body, a lot of squatting. maybe it's time for him to just try like standing upright, simplifying. And because we know the talent's there, we know he's a powerful guy, but he's just not even close to hitting the ball straight right now.
Yeah, let me highlight some of the stuff that you just brought up. Last year, he hit 250 against fastballs. So far, he's hitting 118 with a 118 slugging.
That's concerning.
Dreadful. And, the expected stats are just terrible. Even when he makes contact, which is kind of a rarity at this point, it's not good contact. That's the whole thing here where we're going to get to Alec Bohm in a bit. Like Alec Bohm's squaring some balls up and he's hitting them right at guys. So it's why he's going to be less on our meter here. I think Brandon Marsh at this point, his swing decisions are kind of questionable too. I don't know if he's taking the most calculated approach up there. I think what he's doing at this point is pressing.
100%.
He was not having success early on, and that might have just been a normal cold streak. Now it's compounding because he's making bad swing decisions and he's not barreling balls up, and he's getting above or below on the barrel with these baseballs, and it's terrible what we're seeing. I mean, he's not impacting the ball at all, and now he's losing playing time, and it's going to be tough for him to really break out of it now because you can see he's losing trust from the Phillies management and the Phillies front office. It's kind of just like the nightmare scenario that we knew was possible. We both knew this was possible. We were hoping the exact opposite would be happening right now, and it's not for him. So I think I'm with you. 8 or 9. It's not good right now for Brandon Marsh.
It's definitely not good. I think the numbers that you should that should be highlighted is kind of like his line drive, fly ball, ground ball rate right now. It's all entirely jacked up on ground balls. His line drive percentage is down almost 25% or something like that.
I'm looking at it now. 28% line drive rate last year, 8% this year.
Yeah, everything anything he touches, he's rolling over to the pull side, and that we've seen Brandon Marsh at his best, and his best is that left center gap, kind of letting the ball travel on him, and then kind of getting the ball into that left center area using the opposite field, and he's just not close to that. I mean, obviously he's hit the top of the baseball. Someone just got to tell him hit the bottom of the baseball. It's that easy, right?
Topping 50% of the contact that he makes. How do you see this playing out?
I think he's going to take some days off, and I think Thompson said that 2, and then Robbie Ray, so probably 3. They'll probably sit him against Robbie Ray. I think it's going to do him some good to kind of sit down for a little bit. He's a younger guy. He's like our age. He's probably just so in his head right now. And seeing him in the post-game conference, it's tough to see a vibes guy like that down so bad right now. I mean, he feels bad. He feels like he's letting everyone down. He's not happy about it. He's working hard. I think he's going to turn it around a little bit. Do I think he's going to have an all-star season? No, but I don't think this is Brandon Marsh. I think he's capable of way more than this. I think it started with something fundamental, and now it's just mental.
Yeah, I just feel like there's this gradual transition that's taking place between thinking of Brandon Marsh as a foundation piece for the future of the team, and
I don't think he's that.
He's teetering now. He's teetering now on placeholder for Justin Crawford.
And I think we all kind of we were exposed to Justin Crawford and Gabriel Rincones, and we know that there are other options that are left-handed. So I don't think I think he's playing himself right out of any conversation of being a foundational piece.
That's Brandon Marsh. Just a dire situation. Not much.
Really sucks.
Not much to be excited about there because we did have high hopes for him. Let's move into Alec Bohm. So Alec Bohm. So first off, for those who are just completely out on Alec Bohm, it's not Brandon Marsh bad. He's impacting the baseball well. I said that. The problem with Alec Bohm is you can't hide Alec Bohm in this lineup because he's too important. So when he's bad, you see every second of it. It's the same problem with Trey Turner. Those guys at the top of the lineup, they're in run producing roles. And when they stink, you can tell. So that's why Alec Bohm's getting quite a bit of hate here. I don't think there's much cause for concern here. I mean, the one thing that I would say is he's kind of crushing the ball into the ground, but his average exit velocity, it's 92.2, and that's up like 2 miles an hour from last year. So it's not a contact problem. It's a results-based problem now. And that's a completely different type of problem than Brandon Marsh has. Like Alec Bohm is still the hitter that we think he is. It's just the results haven't really matched it yet. And it's been very frustrating to watch him kind of come out like this after, we had the offseason where we all had Alec Bohm fatigue and we all heard the trade rumors all season. And we had last half season of last year where we were all talking about Alec Bohm the whole time and how he fell off and how, we can't count on him to be a run producer and all kinds of stuff. We've been dealing with this for a long time with Alec Bohm.
We have.
So I think I think the temperature on him is running a little hot right now. I do have faith that he's going to bounce back just based off of his contact metrics, which I always like to refer to. If you've been watching him closely, he's kind of hitting it right at guys. I don't think that this is something that's going to linger too much longer. I'm expecting him to bounce back somewhat soon.
Yeah, no, you kind of hit on it, but especially with the contact profile that he has, it looks a lot worse because he's not a guy that never really been the guy to get to deep counts and battle. And when he's doing well and he's hitting the first and second pitch for hits, we don't care because it's a hit. Right now, they're not hits, so we think he has no patience. He's chasing, but in a month from now, he'll be swinging at the first pitch and hitting it to right field for a single, and we'll probably all shut the hell up.
Yeah. Yeah. I
would say
my point to something, but I really just don't think there's anything here. Like I think he's fine. I
think my worry
meter. What's your number?
It's probably a 5.
Okay, I'm probably at like
that's generous.
I'm at like a 3 or a 4, but I don't think 5 is outrageous. Just because like it's been just a mental grind here with Alec Bohm, and it's got to be very frustrating for him to come out like this. But ultimately,
I still don't subscribe to the whole he's immature and he's too emotional. I'm glad he's showing emotion. He's not playing well. What do you want him to be happy that he's not playing well? So
slugging percentage is 167. His expected slugs 393. His OPS is 331. That's so funny. Yeah. That's like the worst OPS I've ever seen. That's half as much as last year. Oh my god. Anyway, that's Alec Bohm. Right. So interestingly enough, I would put Alec Bohm 3 on the worryometer. Bryson Stott. So I don't really know how to outlay this. I think that
why are you worried?
Well, first off, OPS is hanging around 700 again. Batting average is down to 250. I think that I have this image in my mind of Bryson Stott as like a perennial 300 hitter with like a 750, 800 OPS. And I'm starting to wonder if that's actually who he is, because at this point, that's kind of the outlier. That one season where he was really good. He has, his first half season, we won't count that. Last year, not a huge deal. He wasn't very good. Comes out a little flat this year. And then, I kind of started looking at the profile here. He just has never hit the ball hard. And I just don't see an outcome here where he's continually hitting around 300. I mean, people who don't understand the whole baseball savant thing, they're probably going to write this off and be like, oh, StatCast doesn't matter. But Bryson Stott, his hard hit rate's like the first or second percentile. So he has to have that full bat control type ability to kind of hit the ball around. And he's not Ichiro, Ichiro was able to do that and bat 300 every year. And it's just sure, there's an outcome for that type of player, but is Bryson Stott that type of player? I think he's probably more of a 250 with 10 home runs and, excellent defense and probably a 2 or 3 WAR player. I just thought that there was a little more in there, and I'm starting to wonder if I was wrong in thinking that. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just wondering if my image of what he could be is a slightly unrealistic.
That's fair. I'll say I also thought he was going to come out of the gates a little bit hotter here. What really concerns me is I am really worried about his ability to hit fastballs. Looks like he pretty much every time he goes up to the plate, he sits on a slider or curveball, and which is great if like you can hit the fastball when they throw it, but he hasn't been, and people know that now. The book's out. He gets high and inside fastballs, high fastballs, until he can hit it, and he fouls a lot of them off, but he can't really turn it around. So that's worrying me a lot right now. I also realize it's April 14th. I feel like we're all kind of in this like phase right now where it's like we're all questioning. It's like, are these three guys?
We're trying to decide what's real at this point.
Yeah,
it's really hard. It's really hard.
It is. It is because I think for so long, I guess what's it been like? Pretty much like for 2 years, these guys we've been like projecting what they're going to be, and now we're all kind of getting to this point where like, oh, well, like maybe like time is ticking. Maybe they're not going upwards. Maybe we've seen who they are.
Yeah. Or
is it just April 14th and they haven't got off to a good start?
Yeah.
It's kind of the question right now.
So all these metrics that people are pointing to for Brandon Marsh, Brandon Marsh leads Bryson Stott in just about all of them. And I know it's crazy. I mean, Alec Bohm's been struggling terribly, and he hits the ball 92 miles an hour. Bryson Stott this year has hit the ball 81.6, and that is the first percentile. For all I know, he might be last in that category.
Yeah,
he just doesn't impact the ball very hard. And it's like, sure, it's going to, if he can kind of put it where he wants it, like there's a recipe for success there. But the power's capped at this point. I think the power is absolutely going to be capped for him, and it's probably going to be 10, 15 home runs. And then you're counting on the batting average, and there's a lot of BABIP luck there. And if his ground ball rate goes up, his average is going to go down 1 year. If his strikeout rate kind of goes up a little bit, then suddenly you're talking about a player whose OPS is in the 600s. There's not a lot of room for error, is what I'm trying to say here, and I think he's kind of proving that early on.
Yeah, but on the positive side of his game, he's also proved this season to have a much more like mature approach at the plate, and you can tell a guy is a mature hitter because kind of like we saw Bryce do the other night when he hit that home run where he clearly was looking for one pitch the whole at bat, fouled everything off, got that pitch, and hit it out of the park. Stotts has the ability to just waste pitches like that, and he has the eye to lay off those pitches. It's for him. It's just like you said. When he gets the pitch he wants, can he impact it? I think like that's just going to be what makes or breaks his career.
Yeah, that's his greatest ability is to lay off bad pitches. He has an excellent chase rate, and it's going to be interesting to see whether we can get another year out of Bryson Stott. But with that being said, would you mind cueing the music? Alrighty, trivia time. I'm going to give you I'll give you 3 strikes today because I want you to get this right. It's a tough one. So going back to 2015.
I'm up 2 now, right?
I believe
I'm on a streak. I'm on a streak.
6-4 or 5-3?
5-3.
5-3. Okay. Cole Irvin is 5th in WAR amongst Phillies draft picks since 2015. That year is notable because that was 1 year after Reese and Nola. They were 2014. So since 2015, can you name for me the 4 players the Phillies drafted who are ahead of Cole Irvin in WAR?
Yeah.
This is a good one, isn't it? I'll give
Kingery.
you 3. Kingery's not on there. That's 1 strike.
Wait, how much WAR did Cole Irvin have?
Cole Irvin had 2.3.
Wait, so after
20,
when was Cole Irvin's?
Counting 20, I don't know what year Cole Irvin was drafted, but he was after 2015.
Oh, so Bohm and Stott.
Bohm and Stott are 2 of them, and for reference, Scott Kingery had a 0.5 WAR. So,
wow, that's really bad.
So Bohm is 4th with 2.9. Irvin had 2.3, and Bryson Stott is currently You see, this goes against my Bryce Stout argument. He's leading in WAR with 8.2.
Fantastic defender.
And there are 2 left. And you have 2 strikes. This is a good one.
I have 2 left, you said, right?
This is testing you. You have 2 strikes left and 2 players left.
Okay.
One of these hurts a little bit.
So we traded him away. Ben Brown.
Nope, not Ben Brown. That's 2 strikes.
Oh my goodness, this is a wild one. There's no way to study for this type of question.
Would you like a hint?
No.
Okay.
I don't want a hint.
So you have 1 and 4. You need 2 and 3. They are both still in the majors, obviously.
Mickey?
It's not Mickey. That's 3 strikes.
Yeah. Who are they?
Number 2 is Logan O'Hoppe with the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, duh.
He has a 3.8 WAR, so he was 3rd. And number 2 is Matt Vierling of the Detroit Tigers with a 4.3 WAR.
I always forget that we drafted Matt Vierling.
Yeah, O'Hoppe won. That stings. O'Hoppe's a solid player.
Yeah, I'm happy. It doesn't really sting. I'm pretty happy for him, and he's on the Angels, so it doesn't really affect us. I still root for him.
Oh yeah, me too, definitely. I just wish, I wish we still had him because he's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yes, it goes to show people that it's kind of been rough going here. Probably have to have a deeper talk about that Cole Irvin is 5th in WAR since 2015. Not good stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that I also looked into that, first off, this took a little bit of research, but Kirk Rain's probably going to pass that number here soon.
Yeah.
Ben Brown is obviously very good. Jojo Romero, Mickey's not really accumulating any WAR whatsoever. Apparently, we drafted Edward Julian of the Twins. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not good. Not really good stuff here.
No, it's not that great to hear, but we do have a much more promising batch of young players now in the farm system. I know that could sound like I'm just saying that. I'm people might think I was saying that before, but I feel like this is objectively more talented players at the top. Like Andrew Painter. That guy's going to rack up some more.
No, I agree. But yeah, cherry picking that 2015 year and going down was brutal stuff. But
yeah,
what are you going to do? Nothing we can do about that now. I think this is a very much so a daycare episode because we kind of beat that to death. Do you have anything else that you want to touch upon? It's really early, so
I kind of keeping this rule that I have right now that not allowed to overreact until May 1st.
Oh, that's a good one. May 1st.
Because if I had $1 for every time I had an absolute tantrum in April the past 5 seasons about a certain player, and then they ended up being absolutely fine and having a year just like the back of their baseball card, I'd have a lot of dollars. So
yeah, so Brandon Marsh is what, 0 for 29 or something? That's actually pretty
0 for 28. It's awful. It's tough, man.
Well,
yeah, it was really hard to hear him talk
what
about.
Alec Bohm's going through, if that happened in the middle or over 2 weeks in August, you can kind of mask it. It's just starting the season like this where it's hard to ignore.
The spotlight's on.
Yeah.
And spotlight's on him, and he's trying to prove that he could hit left-handed pitching, and then now he forgot how to hit right-handed pitching. It's an absolute nightmare for Brendan Marsh. I'm sure it probably keeps him up at night. So I hope he can clear the head and just simplify.
I agree. I don't think there's really anything else to say. Giants this week, 4-game set. I don't know who we got later in the week.
Me neither, actually. Oh wait, here I have the schedule right here.
If I think
it will be the Miami Marlins this weekend.
Oh, that's a good week to get back on schedule here. I like this. I like this 2 series.
Giants are playing really good ball right now.
Are they?
They are. They're atop the division right now with the Padres, above the Dodgers.
Okay, sounds like it's going to be a good test. But the boys are back home. That will always help. It's finally warm again in in Pennsylvania. I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time before some of these guys heat up and before we're back on track, because that's how baseball goes. Got anything else?
No, like you said, I'm glad it won't be 40, 50 and rainy for the guys while they're home. Got a beautiful night for baseball. It's going to be 68 degrees at first pitch. We got a Saiwan Walker on the mound, ready
Yes.
to. I'm loving it. I'm loving how he's
I
working his
swear,
stuff right now.
I haven't had a chance to watch these past couple weeks, but I never miss a Taiwan start. I don't know what it is. He pitched Wednesday, right? That was before the match. Like,
Against
I
the
just
Braves.
don't miss Taiwan starts. It's the strangest thing.
That was
But
a
anyway,
test for him too. He had base runners in that one, but he just got out of the jams.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Taiwan. But I think that should do it on this episode. As always, thank you guys for listening, and we will be back to talk to you soon. Take care.
Go Phils.